Hey, David, how's it going? You hear me fine?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I hope this phone works because it's an important phone call, so it would suck if, like, things are missed. So, yeah, this is Andre, so the owner of Pinnacle. So, yeah, I'm just calling because I want this to stop. It's kind of stupid. And I want to bring clarity to anything that I've said or anything like that you have some suspicion of. I'll be more than happy to clarify that, because I believe that as men, we owe that transparency to each other, right? Because it's just, life is too short for just going back and forth and just all this stuff. So, yeah, I'm willing to answer, clarify, because there's a lot of things that you guys said are like completely false, and there's some things that are true that I will not deny. But, but to make a long story short, I have nothing to get. I've never met you in my entire life. I shouldn't have anything bad to say about you, and I apologize for the things that I said about you and all the stupid stuff.
No worries. So I don't really have any questions, man. I don't understand. I honestly just don't understand how you're operating the way you are. I get your questions about me, but the Texas thing has been in place the whole time. I mean, it has. I mean, I've talked to the FTC. I've talked to everybody I need to talk to. My agreement was drawn up by an FCRA lawyer. So the fact that I live in Georgia, I understand where you're coming from, but the fact that I live in Georgia does not stop me from having a business in another state. I mean, it doesn't. And I know that's not what the call's about, but the other thing I'll say is, yeah, this whole thing is ridiculous, but you really crossed the line when you took the picture of my daughter off Facebook. I'm not a violent person at all until you push my button, and that really pushed my button. And you was mad, I'm sure, but and then the thing with David Stanley and his child, I'll just be honest with you. Whether you're mad at somebody or not, that's a sick thing to say about anybody's kid.
Yeah, I understand, and I'm wrong for that, and I apologize. And there's no justification for that. However, let me just kind of explain how I felt, because I take I have a couple other businesses that I do, completely not like credit repair business. Credit repair is extremely toxic, and it's just the nature of the business. I'm sure I've been doing this for a while, so you meet some crazies, but when it comes to credit repair, it's so precious to me, my company. And when people, I understand there's disagreements, but when someone or anyone makes up a lie, I feel that I need to fight tooth and nail for that. And, at the end of the day, I appreciate that you can actually listen to my phone call, because it is genuine. And I'm not a bad person. I could be a dick. You can too. We're all men. We can do what we need to do, right? So touche on that part. But yeah, I do apologize for that. That's just pressing people's buttons, and nothing good comes out of that. Because I have to think, what if I was in your shoes, right? So, but I considered you my enemy. It wasn't to consider someone a competitor is one thing, but when someone, says certain things about my business, it's like, all right, well, this person's just really out to get me. And that's kind of how I felt with David. I had mixed feelings with David. Honestly, the things that David said made me fucking laugh, because he's a fucking funny guy. And at the same time, I could see that he's a really good person, but he's also a little bit, kind of like me. It's mixed. It's confusing.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, as far as your operation going in Georgia, it's none of my business, and I'm sure you know what you're doing. But at the same time, I'm not I'm not doing anything illegal. If anything, gray area. I guess I don't know if you guys believe me. I guess according to like YouTube, everything that I say is a lie. I guess, but I don't want to be viewed as that person. Some things are questionable, but I can definitely bring clarity and prove those things. However, there's going to be sensitive things that are discussed, and I cannot. I don't feel comfortable disclosing them on public because it's not necessary, but it's also that information could be used against me in a bad way. And I'm not that type of person. I can be that type of person, but I don't really want to be that type of person where I use things against people. You know what I mean? It's really fucked up to do that because that's kind of like, that's evil. I don't know who you are. Maybe you're the type of person to do that, but just not me. I'm not that type of person. So if you're okay with that and you're not, then we could go forward because I could share with you information about the founder of Lexington Law and who I work with. And it's not all like what you see online, even on Yelp and stuff like that. It's not the full story. You know that. But, yeah. So, but to make a long story short, the past is the past. What happened back there, it's a lot of crazy stuff, and it wasn't all my fault. And I think people have the right to start over, right? And that's what I did, and I made a change. Not perfect, but I'm definitely not scamming people. I'm definitely not doing that, right? And that's just the bottom line. So
Do
you have any questions?
Well, I had one and my mind went blank. So the whole deal with ACAT. Now before I ask the question, just know I don't want you telling me any type of information that you think is going to help me, because I promise you what I'm doing, there's nothing better. And I know you probably feel the same way about yours. And although I use the mailing system, you can go look at all my results. And I don't pull people's report from the website like that because it's too hard to hide their information. But you can go on my channel. People actually comment. People actually make review videos. All I'm doing, and you may be doing the same thing, just a different system. All I do is use consumer laws. That's it. I use the laws that were set in place to protect consumers to get this stuff removed. That's it.
We do the same shit, man. Pretty much. I mean, things could be different. And I use the mailing system too. It's just not as often. I've done it in the past. It's not always required. But, yeah, I mean, like, I'm not going to dispute. Even the thing, listen to the thing. You said you commented on Credit Repair Cloud. Well, I made a video about that too. 2 months before you said that. I was saying how inaccurate it was. But and it is inaccurate. And that's crazy because if I type that on YouTube, you are the only one that's saying that.
Well, if you go to...
But I know 100% that that's the truth. I do know that. I'm not going to lie. I don't lie. I don't need to lie about that. So,
right.
But that's all I didn't research much into it. I just know from my own experience. And then me talking to you, that's true. I mean, but as far as the things that you saw on my channel, they are accurate. I could prove that. I could show you your credit report. We can even like sign like an NDA and stuff like that. I can talk to my clients to make sure. But here's the thing, bro. I want you to know that I can be transparent with you. However, I am running a business. I have to protect my trade secrets. But at the same time, I don't want to be out here being viewed as a scam and a piece of shit person. And I do know that I do make a lot of mistakes, but I'm going to try to be a better person. Okay.
Well, we all make mistakes. I mean, I ain't going to deny that. But, the going back and forth is not going to get us anywhere. But, one thing that no, neither one of us can take back is what we've already done. Like the damage has already been done. Like people are asking me if I'm a pedophile now. They're asking me if I'm really dating my daughter. I mean, that's stuff you can't fix. I mean, honestly, I mean, there's nothing's gonna repair that.
Yeah, collateral damage on both parts. Well, I'm going to, I can make a video and fix all that. Like correct things. Because here's the thing, we're not the only people that have gone back and forth on YouTube.
No,
So
it happens every day.
It's just, and we're not the only two people that have fought in life. But when you live long enough, you realize, hey, you know what? If these two people, they were going at it, it's one thing like if you kick my ass and I just ghosted and shut down the YouTube and like left. That's like you just beating me up. It's another thing if I did that to you and I just fucked you up and you got off YouTube and you just went or you disappeared. That is like different. But when two people go, all right, you know what? Fuck this shit. This is stupid. I respect him. He knows his shit. And he does his shit. Then it's like it teaches something better for humanity because it's like, all right, well they iron shit out and they're doing it. They're all good.
Right.
Right. Then that changes. That's way better. And yeah, I could apologize. I mean, because I did do some things that are fucked up, but then that's the art of war. But that's not really, I did recently, or even in my history going back for like on YouTube and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean on Yelp, Moises Aguilar, you saw the review he wrote. It's a 5-star. He has a big law firm in Los Angeles. He referred lots of clients to us and we helped him. And those 1-star reviews and stuff like that. Nasty people, man. Nasty people. Like, I don't know if you've experienced this, but I'm not saying we're perfect, but yeah, man, people are kind of fucked up. And
No, they are. I agree.
So what can you do?
I agree.
All I gotta say.
And they put themselves in the situation they were in too, so nobody done it for them.
I don't blame that to them. I'm not the type of person to do that, but if they're being ungrateful and they're saying, hey, you didn't do shit and you scammed me, I'm like, no, I have the report. And they leave a bad review and it's not even true. I'm like, I clean your shit. Even the review, I put the video where you guys made fun of me. I know it, but you gotta pick on people when you're fighting. You gotta do everything you can. But that guy, I removed 80 negative accounts off his report, and there was only a couple left. I had his report, and he's treating me like a second-class citizen. And in my contracts, we have a quota, a standard, and within that standard is impossible. We're not required anything more, and he is not subjected to a refund because we followed the credit report Credit Repair Organizations Act and everything that we delivered on what we said. So we just dropped it as a client, So
Right.
we've been around long enough, and I'm not in prison, and I'm not a felony. I have got arrested for traffic violations. I've been to jail, but I've never been. I don't have any felony stuff like that. Jail for fighting in high school. So.
Right.
I beat someone up in high school and wrestling team.
Gotcha.
Got expelled. And then had weed. Weed was illegal back then. So I got caught with got enrolled in a program, a drug program, just weed. And then I passed it, like, in a couple months after classes and stuff like that.
Right.
I mean, I'm not perfect, but,
Well, nobody is. Some people.
And then go ahead.
No, I was gonna say nobody is. Some people think they are, but nobody's perfect. I'm gonna talk this over with my wife because she's madder than me about this. Like I could care less what a person says about me. I'm only mad about my daughter being brought up in it, and she does to this day. She doesn't even know. and I hope she doesn't see it, because she doesn't live with me. She actually, well, she's of age now. The picture that you took, she was not. And another thing, I got to bring this up just because you're the second person to claim I live in a trailer. I'm not sure if that comes from just because I live in South Georgia or what, but and if I did live in a trailer, I would not be ashamed of it. But I live in a 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath house. It's not the nicest house in the world, but again, if it was a trailer, I'd be happy. I was raised to be happy with what you have, and I don't try to compete with anybody. I don't care for anybody that all they care about is money and what they got, and it makes them feel like they're better than everybody. And that's just how I was raised, but which my family didn't have money, and I'm not ashamed of that either. I honestly think if this generation, especially coming up now, grew up the way I did, they would respect people a lot more than they do. And I mean, I'm 38. I'm not like old, but I'm not young either. But I definitely will talk it over with her and see what she says. But outside of that, I can go ahead and tell you, I can't control David Stanley or any of those other guys. I mean, I really can't. I'm not coaching them to do nothing. This is all them. So you would definitely have to take that up with him.
I have to reach out to those people personally anyway, or do something, or post a video or something. I can't, I'm not going to ask you for any favors or anything, but at the same time, I just want to let you know, like, yeah, I'm not like some spoiled rich kid. I had a really humble beginnings, and I'm not that type of person to judge you, even if you're in a trailer park or not. It's just me picking on you because it's the internet.
Right.
That's all that was. So, I mean, I grew up in Florida, St. Augustine. So
yeah, I know.
I lived in a trailer. Mom's ex-boyfriend was a cop. So
yeah. I know, and the only reason I know that is somebody texted me today and told me all that, and I just ignored it because it ain't none of my business.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you want to reach out to them, you can. Like I said, I don't know where they're at. I know if I was Stanley, there probably wouldn't be anything you could say or do to make me happy or stop or whatever. But I'm not him. I don't think for him. I don't know. I don't know him as well as people think I do. I know him pretty good. I like him. He's a great guy. I mean, he was in the military. He's a fighter. One of the best guys you'll ever meet. But, I get, you was just picking or whatever, but some things you don't do, but.
And I was a little concerned about him. I thought he was just a guy that was bad and trying to really mess up people. Because you don't know who to trust, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm a genuine guy. I've never harmed a soul. It's just not that. I mean, no one that didn't deserve it. And if I feel bullied, then I will retaliate. And also, I shouldn't. I should just walk away. But yeah, I mean, like you never know. So until you actually meet someone, and time will tell. But yeah,
right.
Just based upon this conversation, I hope you can definitely take it to heart. But move negative about you that I said, and I'll try to rectify the situation. And I'll have a video to discuss that and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, the people that I was working with before, man, they didn't have the best interest of the company, and they kind of let me high and dry. I'm not saying I'm innocent. I have to take responsibility. I've always been the CEO, which is basically the spokesman, the salesman of the company, not the owners necessarily, not the processors. I never had a call center in India though, and I never had a challenge claim business. That guy Kamil Fazi, he was a person that wanted to work with me, and it just didn't work out because he was just collecting money and not doing jack squat. And then he was still a nice person. He talked a lot of crap about everybody though, but I overlooked it. And then he moved to, I guess he joined the military and went to Singapore or something.
I got
He had the right course. And so I did my thing, and, he went there. And then he claims that I owe him money, but I don't owe him money. And I was pissed off because he was supposed to be together with me in Fort Lauderdale, and he did not. He was lazy, and then he got a job at Rolls Royce. And I'm like, dude, we're supposed to build a company together. And he's like, man, I need to get a paid salary. But here's the thing, I wasn't even getting paid salary. We have to, you know what I mean? So he kind of misled me. And I was like, dude, all right, fuck you. You left. It's your decision. He left, and now he wants $500. And they recently got into an argument. And then, he wants to go to you, which is really like Machiavellian right there. So that shows you who he is.
Right.
Because here's the thing, I never sent anyone to your channel to do anything. None of my clients know about you, except maybe 3 people. But even then, they ignore my messages. They're like, just forget about it.
Right.
Man. Yeah, and no one knows about you, man. They don't even the only people that see the videos are probably Credit Crusaders and you. That's probably not it.
Right.
And then maybe new people.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Well, I'm going to have to hop off of here. But again, if you want to reach out to them, obviously you're more than welcome. You can do whatever you want. I don't know what he's going to say. But I will let my wife know that you called and we discussed everything, especially how stupid this is, because it is stupid. I mean, it really is. And I'll get back to you.
Okay, sounds good, man. Thanks for taking the call.
All right, have a good one. Bye.